The Sony a6700 is a great camera, but today I'm going to be showing some accessories that I think make it even greater. I use these accessories all the time. Some are cheap and some are expensive, but you can always find cheaper alternatives. Now, that's not me saying you should go for cheaper alternatives. You can definitely get away with it in some cases, but you wouldn't want to spend all this money on a new camera and then put it on a cheap tripod. Just saying. I'm going to be showing 10 of my favourite camera accessories for the Sony a6700. The last one is my favourite, so stick around for that. Also, I'm trying to get 4,000 hours watch time. So let's just dive straight into number one, and that is SD cards. Now, I know this one seems obvious, but what I struggled with at the beginning was knowing which ones to buy for this camera. If you want to use this camera with its full capabilities, you will need a V60 SD card minimum. I have a few V60s and V90s. I will always try and use my V90s because it's just a lot faster. My a6700 has been doing this glitch recently where I'll have a V60 card installed and I'll go to shoot 4K 60 10-bit, but then it'll come up with an error message saying you need a V60 card or higher. Even though I had a V60 card in the camera, it wouldn't let me shoot 4K 60. I turned the camera off, I removed the SD card, wasn't having it at all. Yeah, that was a lot of fun on a wedding shoot. And then suddenly it would work again. Really, really odd. So I will always try and use V90s, but I understand V90s are very, very expensive. An air blower. It's simple, it's fantastic, it's an air blower. Your camera sensor is precious and you're going to want to keep it clean. What this does is it shoots air onto your camera sensor, hopefully knocking off any dust that is lingering on the sensor. I do this when I'm changing lenses or if I'm just cleaning my camera gear. No more dark blobs on your videos. A screen protector. You're going to want to take this and put it on your camera screen the minute you take your a6700 out of its box. It's the first thing that I did, and it will protect your camera screen from any scratches or just general wear and tear. Let my a6500, which I didn't put a screen protector on, be an example of why you should put a screen protector on. A cage. Some of you that have been around for a while will know how much I love camera cages. I've actually made a video going into detail about why I think they're essential, so click the card or check the description for that video because they are pretty good. And obviously, it looks cool. A wrist strap. Now, you don't need to go out and buy really expensive camera straps. Would I recommend it? Probably. However, if you want something that will just give you that little bit more security, then this one's fine. When I'm doing street photography in London, I'll always have my camera strapped to my wrist. You never know, someone could come past you, just grab it and run unexpectedly. It just gives you a little bit more confidence knowing that it should be fine unless they whack your hand off. Unlikely. It's horrendous. That would be awful. But I don't think that'll happen. The one that I use isn't actually that expensive at all. I am looking to upgrade though. The one that I have, I will put in the description below. As of all of this, I'll also put all of these products in the description so you can check them out, shop around, all that kind of stuff. A microphone. The Rode Video Micro is what I will use for vlogging or just any kind of run and gun situation. It's not the microphone I'm using right now, but the Rode Video Micro does live in my camera bag and comes with me everywhere. So it's very good. There is actually a newer version of the Rode Video Micro called the Rode Video Micro 2, believe it or not. And I haven't got it, but I'd probably go for that one because it's going to be better. So, you know, and like I've said, there are cheaper alternatives out there. So shop around, do your thing. A tripod. You are going to want a nice tripod to go with your nice camera. I have two options for you. The first one I will use for commercial work and important shoots, and that is the Manfrotto 190 with the Manfrotto fluid head. It's a lot more expensive, but it's worth every penny. The other option is the Velbon EF51. It's a lot lighter, which I love, and you can easily switch between portrait and landscape, which is great. Batteries. Extra batteries are an essential accessory for any camera, really. You can buy Sony batteries if you have the budget for them, then great. They're like £60 each plus, I think. The ones that I use are from Amazon by a company called JYJZPB. They are really, really good. I can't tell a difference between how long they last compared to the Sony batteries. In a year or two, I might start noticing a difference, but I guess we'll see. Remote. If you are a photographer, I'd definitely recommend getting a remote for your camera. If you're trying to get a long exposure shot of an exact moment in time, I know that sentence doesn't actually make sense, but bear with me, then this is great. For example, waves coming through rocks or something like that. You might find that pressing the shutter button will shake your camera and a timer It's just tricky to use in situations like that. This is where using a remote comes into play. You can get a free one by using the Creators app on your phone. It does disconnect frequently and it is a pain in the ass to use, but if you don't have the budget for a remote, then yeah, the Creators app will work. That's what I had to use when I was on holiday, and it did work, but it was just disconnecting a lot. Annoying. The one that I'd recommend is the Sony RMT P1BT. I don't know who comes up with these names, but link in the description. This one is quite expensive, but you can get cheaper alternatives, so shop around for this one. A stabilizer. This is my favorite accessory, and it's not just made for this camera. This tool will help you get smooth, buttery footage like a hot knife gliding through butter. This camera has in-body stabilization, so whacking it on a stabilizer, add a lens that has stabilization, shoot that in slow motion, chef's kiss. This is all of those variations that I just mentioned. There are so many of these out there, they all vary in price. The ones that I use are from DJI. I use the RSC2, or I'd recommend the Mini 3. Surprise, bonus accessory. Bet you didn't think this was going to happen. A waterproof cover. These are really, really good when you're shooting out in the rain or any kind of situation where your camera might get a little bit wet. Waterproof cover. Sorted. It's not completely waterproof, don't dunk your camera in water, but it will shield it from the rain. These cameras are weather sealed, so it's just that extra bit of protection. 96.1% of my viewers are not subscribed. That means only 3.8% of you are. I have a goal, and that is turning that 3.8% into 10% within the next 6 months. If you have enjoyed any of my content, found it useful, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It means the absolute world to me. All the products mentioned in today's video will be in the description. Please shop around. You don't have to buy the ones that I've got. These are just recommendations. Also, be careful where you're buying things from. Make sure you check reviews and make sure it's a reliable source. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you found it enjoyable. Have a great rest of your day or evening, and I'll see you in the next video.